Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, bringing you week 13 of CSTGIA 2026 from ecosystem resilience to institutional control, governing what must endure. Over the past several weeks, we have moved through a critical evolution. We introduced defensive autonomy, systems that learn faster than attackers. We expanded to cyber resilience as a global strategic capability. And we shifted to ecosystem resilience, securing what we do not control. Now, week 13 addresses the next and most critical question. How do we ensure resilience holds under pressure over time and across leadership transition? Because in 2026, it is no longer enough to design resilient systems. We must govern them so they endure. The 2026 reality: resilience without control is fragile. Across global cyber events, a clear pattern is emerging. Organizations are building adaptive defenses, expanding ecosystem visibility, strengthening supply chain awareness, and investing in AI-enabled security. And yet, failures are still occurring, not because capability is absent, but because control is inconsistent. We are seeing that resilience depends on specific individuals. Response models vary under pressure. Decisions oftentimes cannot be traced or repeated, and governance oftentimes lags behind operational speed. The issue is no longer visibility. The issue is institutional control. And our biggest hidden risk, well, that's resilience drift, because even strong cyber systems degrade over time, not because they break, but because they are not constantly reinforced or consistently ensured to be relevant in this day and age's threat. This creates what we now call resilience drift, where controls weaken, processes diverge, decisions become inconsistent, and sometimes accountability becomes unclear. And over time, while the system still exists, it no longer performs up to the standard it was designed for. So the next model we have to consider is institutional cyber control. To operate effectively in 2026, organizations must evolve from ecosystem awareness to institutional control. And this requires embedding 4 structural anchors. Number 1, decision rights that hold under pressure. In high-speed cyber events, confusion equals delay. Delay equals exposure. So organizations must clearly define who decides what during an incident, what authority levels exist, when should escalations occur, and what thresholds trigger action and by whom. Because in crisis, you don't rise to the moment, you fall to your structural infrastructure. Number 2, durable risk ownership. Cyber risk cannot be distributed vaguely. It must be named, assigned, and maintained across time. This includes vendor risk ownership, AI system accountability, supply chain exposure ownership, and operational continuity responsibility. Because without durable ownership, risk becomes invisible and unmanaged. Number 3, decision memory and traceability. In today's environment, speed is essential, but without traceability, speed creates inconsistency. Organizations must preserve why decisions were made, what data informed them, what trade-offs were accepted, and what conditions influenced outcomes. This creates repeatability, accountability, and institutional learning. Number 4, continuous lightweight governance. Heavy governance slows systems. No governance destabilizes them. The answer is governance light, continuously applied. This includes clear decision pathways, real-time visibility into risk posture, embedded review mechanisms, and ongoing alignment across functions. Governance must ultimately reinforce, not restrict, execution. So our leadership shift goes from visibility to control. Cyber leaders in 2026 must evolve yet again. The question is no longer, can we see the risk? The question is, can we control how we respond to the risk every single time? This requires discipline and system design, consistency and execution, alignment across functions, and leadership that reinforces, not overrides, structure. So our workforce reality is that control is a leadership behavior. Institutional control is not a technical construct. It is a leadership behavior system. It requires executives who respect governance pathways, teams that operate within defined structures, functions that align on shared accountability, and leaders who reinforce consistency, even under pressure. Cyber resilience is no longer owned by security teams. It is owned by the organization. So our strategic implications for 2026 include organizations that build institutional control will sustain resilience under pressure, reduce decision variability, strengthen response consistency, scale securely across ecosystems, and maintain trust during disruption. Organizations that do not will experience inconsistent responses, lose control in high-speed scenarios, relearn the same lessons again and again, depend on individuals instead of the solutions they have deployed, and struggle to scale resiliently. So our week 13 reflection, you want to ask yourself about your organizations. Do our cyber decisions remain consistent under pressure? Is risk ownership clearly defined and sustained? Can we explain and trace our most critical decisions? Would our system perform the same way with different leaders? And where is resilience dependent on individuals instead of structure? If the answer is unclear, control is not yet institutionalized. So our week 13 action, conduct a cyber control checkpoint and identify one critical cyber or operational decision pathway. Evaluate who owns the decision. What triggers action? What data informs it? Is it documented and repeatable? Would it hold under pressure? Then strengthen one structural element, one decision, one structure, one level of control improved. So our closing thought for today is that cybersecurity challenge of the past was protection. The challenge of the present is resilience. The challenge of the future, well, it's control. Because in 2026, you are not just defending systems, you are not just stabilizing ecosystems. You are ensuring that your organization can act consistently, confidently, and correctly under pressure. That is indeed cyber advantage.